The president there asking rich Americans to cough up more, and corporations as well, when it comes to taxes, looking to pay for that $3.5 billion economic plan that he's got before
Pay
Congress.
their fair share. I wish I would have began counting at the beginning of the speech, because it was said many, many times. I'm sure that Larry Kudlow will dig in on that in just a moment.
He will. In fact, let's bring in special report anchor Bret Baier and Larry Kudlow, host of Kudlow on Business, on Fox Business. So, Bret, are tax increases in the offing here, or could a certain senator from West Virginia forestall all this?
There may be others. Good afternoon. There may be others besides Joe Manchin who stand in the way of this $3.5 trillion plan. They call it human infrastructure, but it's a really big tax and spend plan. It includes even immigration reform in that plan. It's interesting to hear the president talk about the success he sees in the economy. He said 750,000 new jobs per month, the economy growing faster than any other place on the planet. Yet people are having a hard time paying for things like gas and food and lumber, and that is called inflation. So there are a lot of people, and I'm sure Larry is one of them, who say by infusing the economy with a lot of this, what they're doing on Capitol Hill only increases the possibility that inflation jacks up quickly. And I think that there is going to be pushback, not just from Joe Manchin, but from some other moderate Democrats.
You know, Bret, as you can imagine, Larry was sitting here with me on set in New York, sort of fact-checking Joe Biden in real time. And I will point out one area, Larry, where you specifically did that, when the president said the top 1% get away with paying almost nothing. To that, you said what?
I mean, it's a terrible factual misstatement. I mean, it goes beyond, it just goes beyond cognitive dissonance, all right? I respect the office of the presidency, so I'm not going to really tell you the label that I'd like to pin on this. I'll just say cognitive dissonance. And the numbers are very clear. First of all, the top 1% pay 40% of the income taxes. The bottom 50% or more don't pay income taxes, okay? He doesn't talk about that.
It was even bigger in 2020 COVID year. 61% didn't pay any federal income taxes.
So the spending is going to be, if you do the numbers right over 10-year periods, the spending will be between roughly $5.5 trillion, plus $1 trillion for the so-called infrastructure bill, which is only a third about infrastructure. Nobody in their right mind believes that a strong economy with excessive inflation requires about $6 trillion of new federal spending. I mean, seriously, I don't care what Republican, Democrat, supply side, or Keynesian, no one believes that. Furthermore, the idea that corporations don't pay he just said corporations don't pay tax.
Yeah.
We are seeing record tax revenues from record profits, okay? The Trump tax cuts, if I may, the Trump tax cuts not only succeeded in record unemployment, low unemployment, and low poverty, and helping minority groups, but they paid for themselves. It was a $350 billion corporate tax cut. It paid for itself in added profits and revenues within 18 months. And Biden's economists and his own Treasury Department, they have a fine career staff, will be happy to supply him with the numbers if he ever wants to look. But let me tell you this. You go after these companies who are so profitable, you will knock down the estimates right now, Dan Clifton of Strategas and other Wall Street people, Tax Foundation, you will lose $100 billion in profits next year. Okay, thinking about that.
And that affects jobs, and it goes down the line.
Roughly half of S&P 500 profits will go down from the higher taxes. You know who gets hurt the most by that? Not rich people. Middle income, blue collar, average families, because there's no profits to pay for wages, business equipment for better productivity, and higher family incomes. They are the ones who are hurt the most by this. And I want to add one last point. They're going after small businesses. The Ways and Means bill, which wasn't as onerous as the Biden bill, the biggest hurt is on small businesses, which really is the heartbeat of the economy.
And John, we had David Asmus sitting in Larry's chair yesterday who made the same warning.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's take a look at the taxes. First of all, the president wants to raise the corporate tax to 26.5% for the current 21. That is actually trimmed back by Democrats from the 28 that the president wanted. Individual taxes would rise to 39.6 for the highest income earners. Capital gains go from 20% to 25%. You know, there is some hope, Bret, among some people that if they are going to have an increase in taxes, that they may restore the SALTs, the state and local tax deductions that got trimmed in the Trump administration, that might soften the pain a little.
Well, they may have to in order to get those votes. Democrats who say they won't vote for this package unless that SALT fix is in there. I will say to Larry that there are, and this is the president's words, 55 of the largest companies in the country that pay zero corporate income tax. Now, you can
Brett,
parse
I
that
will
however...
debate that. I
yeah,
will
I know.
rebut
That's his
that.
stat.
Because
Yeah.
that's his stat. And let me just tell you something.
But there are some, you admit that pay zero.
There are some because we just came out of a pandemic where businesses were closed all across the country. So, Brett, they didn't make any money.
Right.
They didn't make any money.
But if the
And you're-
Amazons of the world are paying zero, it's easy to sell the
They are
population. I understand what you're saying. This is the president's pitch, and I'm
See-
just giving it to you from that side.
Yeah, but-
and that is, it's easy for the public to get, hey, wait a second, they're not paying enough that anybody
People-
else is paying.
You know, most Americans, there's 155 million working Americans in this country. They work in businesses large and small. They know the score. They don't believe these phony facts because they're men and women in business. I want to tell you, you can go back and look at what American companies pay. We have the highest now with this Ways and Means proposal, which will come if you add in the states, Bret Baier. This will come to 26.5 plus 4.1%. Just call it 31%. Only Colombia and Portugal, two small countries, have higher tax rates. We will now have the highest of all the big major industrial countries, including China. Is that what we want?
Yeah.
In terms
So
of the
this is
capital
the-
gains
this is the
tax,
pitch.
we
I
will have
agree.
a higher capital gains tax for investment than China. Is that what we want?
Right,
And
so-
will somebody look at these profit numbers and tax revenue numbers? Because this is phony. They should be ashamed of themselves for putting this stuff out there. It's phony
This is
stuff.
the gamble that they're taking because they have a divided government and they have to sell this to a divided Congress.
Yes.
Elections have consequences, and this is an ideological shift. $78 billion of this plan goes for IRS workers to go after
Collect more
people
money.
to
That's
pay
true.
taxes.
I just want
For a
to.
non-existent tax gap. I mean, even the CBO scores this as minuscule.
That's true.
They're relying on numbers. They think that attacking pharmaceutical drug companies, okay, with price controls and higher taxes and forcing them to make larger subsidies, they think that that's going to balance the budget. $700 billion. Bulletin, I'm going to give you breaking news. They'll never see that money. And by the way, I thought we owed the pharmaceutical companies a debt of gratitude for producing these vaccines, which has reopened the economy and kept the vast majority of Americans a lot healthier than would have otherwise been the case.
Right.
But instead, we are punishing them. Biden says we're not punishing success. I beg your pardon. We are punishing the most successful companies in this country that have helped save our lives.
All right, keep the fire, Larry. I want to ask you the difference between.
It's not aimed at Bret, by the way.
No, absolutely not. No,
You know.
no. Brett's questions are obviously extremely fair, and these are points that
Brett's the best of the lot.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying there's a lot of cognitive dissonance in Washington.
But Larry, you know, people want to know what's the difference between, and I believe he spoke for 22 minutes, the president just now, and I lost count how many times he called on the rich, the wealthy, the big corporations to pay their fair share.
Yeah.
Explain the difference between paying your fair share and income redistribution. Here's the president a moment ago saying, I believe 3 times in a row. Listen.
I'm not out to punish anyone. I'm a capitalist. If you can make $1 million or $1 billion, that's great. God bless you. All I'm asking is you pay your fair share.
Okay, he went on 2 more times to say pay your fair share, but your response, Larry.
Look, this is just a Democrat talking point, which they think polls well. But the fact is, people like me and people all over the country will rebut this by simply saying they already pay the bulk of the taxes. One of the more amusing parts of this debate was the Wall Street Journal editorial a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Bernie Sanders is running out of billionaires to tax, right? You can tax them all to death, and there's not going to be enough money. I think they calculated $450 trillion, and that's still not going to be enough compared to the long-term estimates here. No, I think people redistribution and leveling the playing field is much different than opportunity and growth and prosperity. There's a big difference, and Americans know that. My pal Newt Gingrich, he did polling on this. Do you favor big government socialism or free enterprise capitalism?
Let me guess.
The pollster is John McLaughlin, an excellent pollster. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, 75 to 80% favored free enterprise
Bingo.
capitalism. They don't want big government socialism, and that's basically what Biden is selling. And I'm just saying, I mean, Bret made the point earlier. You've got a bunch of senators who so far are not buying. And I think there's going to be people in the House that are not going to buy this either, Democrats in the House. And this business about buying them off by raising the SALT deduction ceiling again, which, by the way, only favors the richest among us, if you're going to play that game. They're the only ones that benefit from this, not working families. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that goes through.
You know, they're certainly making the ideological argument here, and in some places a fashion statement. If you take a look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's dress the other night at the Met Gala.
Tax rich people across her behind. What a lovely idea that was. Sorry, pardon my French.
Larry,
Great to have you both here.
Larry, Bret, good to see you guys.
Thanks, Larry. Thank you, Bret.
See you tonight at 6. And see you this afternoon at 4. All right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.